Yeah. Hello again. Yeah. So I'm actually dressed the same because I'm recording one after the other. I had like four different topics outlined. So yeah. And I kind of am limiting myself to 10 minutes to not like rant on for too long. But basically, it was the topic of, like the second topic I was talking about. Had to like restart the video a couple times. It was about reactive mode and creative mode. So not a new idea, not a very uncommon one by any means. What I was mentioning was that recently I was listening to one of the most famous YouTube bloggers in the world, the Wizard Liz. I don't know who doesn't know her, but in the very like last video, very like most recent one, she was actually yelling at the screen and saying like something akin to that concept where most of the people like they actually like react and they watch their feed all the time instead of creating something. So there's like creative mode where you create from inside of you, when you where you like put things out there, no matter what it is. And there is this reactive mode where people are like, I mean, everyone is, I am as well, watching the LinkedIn, the emails, the messages, the other types of messages, like the news, the updates, the comments on your posts, the comments on different people's posts, like the reactions, the feedbacks, and also the news again, and then the work email, and then the LinkedIn, and then like people messaging you and messaging you again, and then personal email and TikTok and like short content and long content and so many people wanting to say so many things and so much information coming like at every single one of us every single day and every single second. And Liz was saying that people are scrolling and like kind of checking what this celebrity or that celebrity is doing, but they are kind of not understanding that their life is passing them by while they're sitting and being attached to their phone. So, and I agree, of course, even though like most people, I also do it quite a lot. And I'm kind of like with writing, like if you ever had like any creative routine which is consistent, like at least a few hours a day, or if you ever try to create one, like basically almost immediately you're confronted with your phone and with the fact that your phone is your enemy. It becomes your enemy. So I'm like getting red. No, I'm not sure what that is, but you're confronted with that thing, that the reactive mode. The reactive mode you are constantly on, like all those notifications, all those messages, all those images, all those friends wanting your opinions, like all those news, all those like things that politician said and things that celebrity did and things that like movie came out, and then the reaction videos, and then you have to reread it again, like you can see that I'm even like talking three times as fast because I'm so like, as everyone is, I'm so stressed by that shit. And this reactive thing, like, I found that when you are like wanting to create stuff, it sets you off so easily from your original intention. And whenever you originally intended to like write for 2 hours, or at least just for 10 minutes, because personally I can't get into the flow, like I have trained myself to get into the flow, but still, if I begin like with this in the morning, then the shit is never ending. It's never ending. Like, you can always have more. Internet is infinite. But like this reactive and creative stuff, like this reactive thing, like it really influences your instincts, your nervous system, your judgment, your ideas, your concentration span, your attention span, your concentration, the ability to focus, the ability to produce something. I do understand very well why most prominent writers of this world and most famous writers and most famous creators of this world, they just sometimes unplug their like internet router or whatever, and they just sit there without anything. Because I found personally that this is one of the only ways of actually creating something, of actually getting your ideas penetrate like your brain, you see? Because in the reactive mode I have no chance. I have no chance. Like I have such a hard time switching from like reading my feed or whatever to like writing something, even if I'm already in the text and I'm already in between two chapters, And if I'm already editing, let's say chapter 9, and I know what's coming next, and I'm kind of like having this idea of what's coming next, but I'm still like, if I was in the feed a moment ago, I'm still thinking about that. Or if I was reading some comments, like, for 2 hours, I'm still back in there. And the thing is, like, it's much harder than most people think, I think. Like the creative thing, whenever you're like all alone, let's say, right? It's not your job, it's just your passion, your hobby, your pursuit, the thing you want to do. You're kind of alone, as I am. Also, why I did that channel, to kind of not be alone, to at least like be alone, but on the internet, I would say. But like, um, whenever you're alone and you're trying to like switch between those two things, kind of reading the feed and being the feed, reading the feed and being the feed, sometimes I feel like you succeed and sometimes I feel like you fail. Yeah. And I'm also actually quoting Kim Kardashian here from her masterclass on the principles of business, because she verbatim says this thing where you either like are the feed or you read the feed. And it's a very important lesson, and it's a very like, it's something that was like imprinted on my mind, because I do understand exactly what she's saying. I do understand that either you react or you create. Either you entertain, as Britney Spears put it, or you observe. There are two kinds of people in the world: the ones that entertain and the ones that observe. I still remember that song. I almost like sang it out loud right now. But what I mean is, I think it's much harder than people think to switch, and it's much harder than most people think to like create, not because creation is hard, not because creativity is not available for everyone, or not because everyone doesn't have enough creative ideas, or not because everyone can't do it. Everyone can do it, but it's so hard because of the wiring of this thing that is in our hand all the time, and the wiring of all those like things that are flying at us at all times. And of the wiring of this thing that is designed to be addictive as f, and the brain can't like switch, between looking at it and looking at it and trying to analyze it and trying to like get those images into your head and like trying to understand and process, and between like actually synthesizing and creating something. So it's very, yeah. And I think most people, and me as well, like, of course, too busy with reacting and commenting and receiving, and like not even receiving, but like waiting for new updates, and like react, that actually they are not creating. And they just simply either don't have time, or like don't have the concentration for it, or both. And I also kind of like noticed myself as well when I was too much in the reactive mode. As of right now, I'm a bit like more in the creative mode than in the reactive mode. Like definitely, I'm limiting myself a lot from what's happening on social media. I'm limiting myself a lot on what's on my phone. What do I watch? How long do I watch it, and so on. And I do have some like spiritual and other practices to kind of like keep myself in a state where I can create. Because I had to if I want to finish the book, and if I ever want to like sell it to like anyone, or at least like query it or whatever, I had to do that shit. But the thing is, like, I noticed that even I, like, not even and I don't mean that I'm like, better than anyone. What I mean is, I keep waiting. Like, if I'm too deep in the reactive mode, for some reason I keep waiting. When you're like sit there, and maybe you don't have a lot of YouTube subscription, but you sit there and you're like, but when's this person going to post? But when's this email going to arrive? But when is this news coming? But when is this like coming? And when? And every morning you have those questions like when can I like get it? But once it arrives, nothing much happens. Like, okay, they posted the new video. Okay, they did the new thing. Okay, the new season came out, and what? And this is what I'm kind of asking myself. Okay, like you're waiting constantly for like new work emails, new work tasks, new stuff, new like comments like new whatever, like you keep waiting, but what are you waiting for? Hasn't every single day of your life has been like some kind of news, some kind of email, and what? Like emails are never that important, actually. Or like all those notifications are never that important. Like why are you waiting? And I kind of ask myself, why am I waiting? Waiting for what? Like for someone to give me a comment on my like post on my blog? Why? Someone to give me like feedback on my manuscript, but okay, I'm going to continue writing it regardless. So okay, like why? What am I waiting for? Because I kept like subconsciously my brain and my attention span and my everything kept like being wired this way. And I'm basically trying to rewire myself recently. Like have been trying real hard to just like say to myself, listen, listen, don't wait. Like you don't have to wait for anything to arrive to create. Like creating is actually like it doesn't involve any waiting. Like your ideas are there, your thoughts are there, your heroes are there, like your stories are there. You don't have to like have some notification, whenever your muse is like, okay, I'm here. Yeah, you can tell that like I've been struggling with that myself. Probably that's why I wanted to talk about it.